Good evening, I'm Scott Beadle with St. George News at 8. A West Jordan man is facing up to 5 years in prison for sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl after giving her alcohol at a party last year. 22-year-old Robert Anthony King Jr. pleaded guilty to charges of unlawful sexual activity with a minor and knowingly giving a minor alcohol. He and Zane Jeffrey Tidwell were traveling through town last May when they met up with a group of Cedar City teens and invited them to their hotel room for alcohol. Several teens were reported intoxicated, and several of them reported witnessing King sexually assault the 14-year-old, who police also described as fairly intoxicated. King is due in court for sentencing June 13th. Tidwell faces charges of giving alcohol to minors. A homeowner is breathing a sigh of relief today after a car just missed the house. Rick Wayman has the story.
A stroke of luck for one St. George homeowner Tuesday. A car went out of control on Valley View Drive about 4:15 p.m., went off the road and through the front yard, narrowly missing the house. St. George police officer Mike Christensen has the details.
So it appears the vehicle was traveling northbound on Valley View. We don't know what lane at this point. Appears he crossed over into oncoming lane, up over the sidewalk, through the chain link fence and up into some trees, causing the damage to the vehicle right there. No one was hurt. Driver was transported, and at this point, that's all we know.
Christensen said the 26-year-old driver will be cited for unsafe lane travel.
Units from the St. George Police and Fire Departments and Gold Cross Ambulance all responded to the scene. Firefighters make quick work extinguishing a large shed fire in Hurricane, but not before the shed and everything in it was destroyed. It happened around 9 p.m. Tuesday in the area of 300 West and 300 South. The fire started just outside the shed in some cotton that was on the ground and quickly spread. The shed was fully engulfed, threatening surrounding homes when the fire crews arrived. The tractor inside that shed was also destroyed. The cause is under investigation. Using tobacco products at the Washington County Fairgrounds will soon be a thing of the past. The Washington County Commission unanimously passed an ordinance banning all tobacco products, including vaping, at Regional Park. The Washington County Youth Coalition presented the commission with the findings of a study they conducted over 3 years, documenting people smoking and asking people if they wanted the fairgrounds to be tobacco-free. They report 90% wanted a tobacco-free experience. Now, this ban does not include smoking in parked vehicles on the grounds, and there will be a designated smoking area. The ban will take effect around the start of the summer. Some Cedar City councilors want to reassess the city's relationship with the Utah League of Cities and Towns after a recent audit leveled allegations of misspending. The recent audit led to the resignation of the league's executive director, Ken Bullock. The audit accused Bullock of charging about $57,000 over 4 years to the group's credit cards for various travel expenses. Bullock had paid back about $46,000 of that. The report also questions another $130,000 in charges that lacked documentation. Some Cedar City councilors are concerned about oversight, but other councilors aren't quite ready to cut ties with the group, citing its lobbying and advocacy services. The ULCT is a taxpayer-funded group, and last year, Cedar City paid about $18,500 in dues. Republicans are busy trying to rally support for their plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. They've gotten 2 high-profile GOP members to switch their no votes to a yes, one day out from when the House leaders hope to vote on the American Health Care Act. Janae Norman is in Washington, where the push continues for health care reform.
Republicans rushing to wrangle up votes for health care reform, hoping to check repealing and replacing Obamacare off their legislative to-do list before an 11-day congressional recess. House GOP Whip Steve Scalise giving a thumbs up. Republicans may finally have the votes they need by a razor-thin margin. 2 high-profile moderate Republicans switched from nays to yays.
We're here announcing that with this addition that we brought to the president and sold him on in over an hour meeting in here with him, that we're both yeses on the bill.
Michigan Congressman Fred Upton credited with sealing the deal on the amendment to help people with pre-existing conditions. It would allocate $8 billion of federal funds over 5 years to subsidize high-risk pools in states where governors get a waiver for Obamacare rules, allowing insurers to discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions and charge them more.
What this amendment would do is provide additional funds directly into the high-risk pools to be spent for people that might otherwise lose their coverage because of a waiver that a governor would seek.
But Democrats pounced on the amendment. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tweeting, "It's like trying to cure stage 4 cancer with cough medicine."
It's a joke. It's a very sad, deadly joke.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Summers has your Southern Utah forecast next.
The weather tonight is brought to you by Experamac. Experience Mac computers in a new way.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Wednesday evening to you. Some very warm weather out there late this afternoon as our high temperatures made it back into the mid to upper 80s in much of southern Utah. 86 degrees. Our high temperature here in St. George, 85 degrees up in Hurricane. Cedar City at 73 degrees for the high late this afternoon. The real warm weather still down to our south and west, though, as Mesquite and Las Vegas were into mid-90s to low 90s. Late this afternoon. Now for tonight, we'll see those temperatures drop back into the 30s around Cedar City, about 37 degrees, mainly clear skies. And we'll keep those clear skies around basically everywhere else too in parts of southern Utah. We'll see temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60 for overnight tonight. Again, east-northeast winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now as we head to our Thursday, then a little bit warmer than we saw today. We'll start out again in the 40s around 7 o'clock in the morning in Cedar City with mainly clear skies. Sunshine returning by the afternoon. And looking for a high temperature reaching near 80 by the time we get to Thursday afternoon in Cedar City. North-northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For St. George and southern Utah, then we'll start out about 60, upper 50s to low 60s. Around 7 o'clock in the morning, again, mostly clear skies. But lots of sunshine through the afternoon. And we're going to go for a high of 92 degrees here in St. George for your Thursday afternoon. East-northeast winds, again, only about 5, maybe 10 miles per hour throughout the day. So we're going to stay pretty hot with plenty of sunshine out there for our Thursday, really keeping the hot weather in the forecast through the rest of the work week. Even on Friday, seeing those temperatures get to the mid-90s in some areas across parts of southern Utah. And by the time we get to the weekend, then maybe bring a little bit cooler weather back, at least get back into the 80s in most areas with a mixture of sun and clouds, and also a little breezy too as we get into the afternoon hours of our Saturday and Sunday. But Surface Map just shows nothing but warm weather here in parts of Utah. Again, seeing the very hot weather still down to our south in parts of southern California, also southwestern parts of Arizona. That's where the temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 90s in that area. We should get to the low 90s here as we get into the afternoon hours here in St. George on your Thursday and keep the mid 90s around by Friday. Here's a forecast for our Thursday. Then we'll see temperatures again from Enterprise, about 74 degrees, a high temperature. Cedar City at about 80 degrees, mostly sunny skies, really pleasantly warm for this time of year. West winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Around the parts of southern Utah, then into the 90s. Hurricane at 91 degrees, a high temperature. 92 degrees in St. George. Could be as warm as 97 down in Mesquite and Littlefield, Arizona at 97 as well. Very hot, plenty of sunshine. East-northeast winds continuing at 5 to 10 miles per hour. 7-day forecast for Cedar City shows temperatures mid-80s for your Friday. 83 degrees, a high temperature. A little bit cooler as we head into the weekend. 65 by Sunday with a chance of rain. Could be a little rain around by next week too, with low 60s around. Now for St. George and Cedar City, then 94. The high temperature for the Friday, then upper 80s on Saturday. A little bit of cooler weather moves in on Sunday, 72. Again, could see a little bit of shower activity next week. And by then, temperatures really drop off into the upper 60s to low 70s by Monday and Tuesday of next week. So definitely see some hot weather next couple of days, but then next week we cool back off a little bit and bring some rain chances in too early next week.
Deal. If you don't like the weather, just stick around for a little bit.
Just hold around for a couple more days. The weather will get a lot better. We'll get back to where we should be for this time of year by early next week.
All right, thanks, Chris. We'll be back in a moment. New Jersey twins defied the odds when they both gave birth on the same day in the same hospital. Danielle Grant and Kimberly Abraham are twin sisters, and last Friday, they each gave birth to a baby boy. The odds of twin sisters giving birth on the same day are about 1 in 12,000. The sisters say it was all coincidental.
Oh, that's a pretty cool story, yeah.
Yeah, and we're told that they also want to dress them up in matching outfits as they get older for birthdays.
Of course, why not?
Thanks for watching.
Have a great night.